So I'm very happy that you really love the story. Yeah, it's fucking fantastic. Holy shit. Which means if Sean's here, then it would be Sean's story, or if Not is here, it would be Not's story. Depends on who is still here. And it was an improvement compared to the revision. I am here. That's what I figured, Sean. So we'll start with you until we can find someone else. Chapter 34. End of Arc 1. Lisa happily served her stew, and to my surprise, it was really good. Oh, don't know if you noticed, but a young tree ant wandered up. Must have been really curious about the treehouse. Probably took him 2 days to finally reach the area between the local trees and your treehouse brought. Cute little thing, only 18 feet tall. That did interest me. Did it say anything? Lisa shrugged. Not really, she just said good season cycle before falling to sleep again. Older tree ant opened his eye for a moment, spotted her, and went right back to sleep. Abby was excited. So it's a girl, huh? Sure is, but even as young as she is for a tree ant, she's still going to need a month of sleep, at least before she has enough energy to even talk to you for long. Lisa was quite knowledgeable of tree ants due to her work as a ranger. After lunch, how about we do some archery practice? Maybe Lisa can help with that too. Lisa looked intrigued. Oh, who's learning? All three kids raised their hands and Lisa's eyes lit up. I'll help too. Just need to fetch my compound bow. You got your own bow? I haven't even seen one. Why haven't I seen one? I could have sworn I've been everywhere. Excusing myself from the table, I moved over to what looked like a bare patch of wall and depressed a hidden switch to open a panel revealing my bow and quiver, plus an extra 1,000 arrows in a box. Probably a few little nooks you haven't found yet. I'm sure you haven't found the reloading station for my shotgun. I'm gonna need to figure out how to resupply on shell wraps. I've got a few, but eventually I'll run out. Lisa's gaze on my bow was hungry. Marta looked intrigued too. Tracy would have loved to see that in action, especially when we were fighting the slavers that one time. Your shotgun is rather noisy. I shrugged. And I thought about it. I should have. It's easier to get more arrows, even if they aren't as good as these. Still, the shock factor ended that fight with fewer casualties. What do you say we clean up from lunch and start our lessons? This was perhaps the least effort I had needed to use to get the kids to participate in tidying things up to date. We spent a few hours teaching the kids how to use their new bows. By the end of it, they were hitting fairly close to where they aimed. I was impressed by their progress, but I could tell that Matt wasn't. Listen here, youngster. You've got plenty of time to get better at losing arrows. Today was great progress. I've been losing arrows for years, and I can't match James there, stated Lisa. Should try my bow. Don't let its size fool you. The draw weight is probably only slightly higher than yours. But once at full draw, it will hold the tension itself. Gives you much longer to aim before shooting. That and my arrows aren't just pretty. They're perfect, smooth and straight. Each arrow is precisely the same weight, too, unless you change arrow tips. We're using target points right now. Broadheads are slightly heavier, I think. Plus, they're shaped differently. So there's a little adjustment in aiming those. I handed my bow to Lisa, who, with my assistance, took a test shot. Her aim was good with her bow, but with mine it was precise. Never got a shot like that on my bow at this range. I grinned and gestured for her to take another shot. Within a few moments, a neat cluster of arrows surrounded the target, touching each other. Dang, girl. I knew you were good, but I swear if I let you keep shooting arrows, you'd end up splitting the shaft. Her look of wonder and joy was heart-melting to my eyes. How about you take a quick stroll through the forest? See if there's any decent game nearby. Wouldn't hurt to stock up on some game. And I know I won't be a match for you with that bow in your hands. My own aim with her bow was abysmal at best. And I love those like moments with James where he's like, sometimes it's not me, it's the tools that I have, you know? And it's like that humbleness of being like, well, when it's me, it's me. When it's not me, I tell you it's not me. So you're never... It makes the times when it is me more impactful, right? You know, it's like, oh, his skill or his knowledge versus, like, the tool that he's using. Like, you know, inventing a grinder. Well, to him, that's something super, like, basic, right? Like, figuring out how to work a meat grinder. Let's start talking about building new generators. Then maybe, you know. But then I guess we're going with the sewage system, right? So a sewage system also makes sense, right? Application of knowledge. But still being humble enough to be like, yo, I'm not that good. But you got this, go. She didn't need any more encouragement as she scampered off on a quick hunt. A couple of hours later, Lisa returned with a brace of what resembled rabbits, but reptilian. Having had absolute faith in her, I had brought down a plastic folding work table and cutting boards, and my knife set ready. Kids, it's time for your next lesson, called up to the house, nearly instantly. All three came trampling down to where I had things set up. Marta followed them. I want to teach this part. You wouldn't let me dress that Dreadfang because I was injured at the time. I'm not injured right now, and I want to try those knives. I stepped to the side and gestured for her to take my place. Be my guest. I can at least identify the knives, though, since clearly you don't have these here yet. Next hours were taken up fully with the dressing and carcass. With dressing the carcasses Lisa had brought in. After which, I know nothing about doing that. Do you know anything about hunting, Sean? And like skinning and anything like that? Or does James know anything like that? Because it does seem like he would be a hunter if he has all this thing. So it seems like he would be a character that would have the knowledge of that. Extremely minimal, which is why I glossed over it. Okay. The next hours were taken up fully with dressing the carcasses Lisa had brought in. After which, once we had tidied up our mess and offered the remnants of our tree ant friends, we cooked them for dinner. I set Matt up on the couch in the living area after converting it into a bed, and the girls in what used to be my room, while my wives and I made full use of our master bedroom. So I kinda like that, but there is also the other way of saying, like, what, because, like, so far you've basically set a precedent and, like, a promise of, if James knows something, I'm going to go in depth on what James knows. So maybe, like, even adding a line that's, like, I'm just thinking, like, despite being a hunter, I've never done the things myself, right? Like, if he had killed game, you know, he'd take it into the city to the butcher, right? He wouldn't do the butchering himself. So, like, a simple line saying that to inform the reader that he doesn't have the knowledge and then skimming over it, I think is just, like, superpowers this scene. Because, again, it shows something that James doesn't know. And the contrast of the limits of his knowledge is, like, you know, very important. And then you can set a precedent for it's important for James because he knows the knowledge, then it's not important for James and he doesn't know the knowledge. You can play with him zooming in on things not being important to the story and him missing things because he's zooming in on other things, right? Field dressing is always done right there. I've been there when the guts are removed and then participated in the butchering side myself, but not the skinning. Okay. But yeah, usually when you go hunting with like multiple people, right? And each one usually has like some sort of specialty, right? You got the arms specialty, the butcher specialty, the tracking specialty, the camping specialty. Because you want to have all of those aspects covered, right? If you're going out for like, let's say, a week-long hunt in like the Canadian North, the middle of fucking winter, grab yourself a fucking moose or 2 or 3. Depends on how many people you have with you. Some people hunt in groups of like 12, right? Take the whole family up there and everything. Make a whole festival out of it. Bring back like a year and a half worth of meat. Sell half of it. Yeah, if it's for something a decent size, such as deer or elk, I helped with elk. Family got special tags that year. 5 cow elk and 1 quality bull in 3 days. Nice! That's sick. Fuck yeah, Sean. I know a lot of people who hunt. I have never gone hunting. But my entire life I've known farmers, and all farmers have always been hunters. Growing up, it was like my Aunt Linda, she had literally like 5 or 6 bear pelts as like carpets in their house. From them hunting bears in the area around their house, around their farm. A couple of wolf hides, taxidermied heads mounted on the wall, like total like fucking crazy shit. Thank God Brother Leo built a walk-in cooler that year, so we will be able to hang the carcasses in there until we could process them all. Nice. Always good to have that little bit of backup. Killed 3 food sealers that year, too. Don't know what a food sealer is. The fuck is that? Be my guest. I can at least identify the knives, though, since clearly... Wait, we already read that. The next hours were taken up fully. Matt, Treant, dinner. I set Matt up on the couch in the living area after converting it into a bed, and the girls in what used to be my room, while my wives and I made full use of a master bedroom. Thing that sucks the air out of plastic bags and melts the end closed. Oh, for preserving purposes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, cause of the amount of meat, and you package each like thing by like cut, size, weight, right? Near dawn, I was woken by the security alarm. All of us groaned as we moved to discover what had set the alarm off. When we reached the main house, and I checked the camera feeds, I noted in almost the exact same place that Marta had been crumpled up in, another figure also crumpled up in pain against that tree. This one was clearly a boy, though. What is that? Sorta looks like you, James. Cora was right, only something was off. I grabbed my shotgun and moved down the stairs to check on the boy. When I got closer, I realized his ears were pointed, and when his pain-filled eyes opened, they were tinted red. Where did you come from? He managed to say through the pain he was suffering. Wrong question. Right now, is the thing that hurt you following you? That's the currently most important question. Shook his head. No, it was defeated by my allies. They couldn't help me. They ran for help. I checked his wound and found it wasn't too deep, but they had attempted to move him. It likely would have been bad. Well, let's get you patched up a little, then we can take you inside while we wait for your allies to arrive. Marta, you know where the medical kit is. Can you bring it here, please? True as fear! Yo, yo, yo! Congratulations on level 1! She gave a curt nod and bolted back upstairs to retrieve the medkit. Maggie can use her healing magic, stated Nayla, and Maggie nodded in affirmation. If you looked around, aside from the trees attached to the house, and for some reason the younger tree ant, everything else has changed. Only then did they notice what I already had. We were in a forest, but not our forest. The young tree ant's eye opened. Poor things. They can't produce seeds. No tree here can, aside from the ones you have brought with you. You should burn some of their wood so I can make seeds for them. Her eyes closed. Her eye closed again. The boy gave a hoarse bark of laughter. That explains more than it doesn't. Seems the summoning worked. Only it wasn't meant to bring people with the trees. I ain't quite ignore his words, but my focus was on tending his wounds instead. It took several minutes to clean and stitch his injuries closed. Let's get him upstairs. We can move Matt in with the girls. I'm sure they don't mind. Our guest needs the space to recover while waiting for his friends to return for him. My wives helped me to bring our guest into the house. He marveled at the live trees around us, and even more so at the seedlings we had yet to plant anywhere. I think I might need some blood. It's difficult to believe that I'm seeing actual trees, and baby trees too. If you mean you've lost too much blood, I doubt it. If, however, you mean drinking blood, will animal blood suffice? We have some fresh animal blood in the fridge. I can warm if you need it. How kind. Cold is fine. As long as the creature hasn't been dead for more than 20 hours, will suffice. I nodded. I figured you might just be a vampire. Still, your bloody body temp doesn't suggest you're an undead. That would mean that vampires are a natural being of this world rather than some cursed entity. He smiled, the points of his fangs catching the moonlight. Indeed, and to our shame, it is our failings that have led to the trees being as they are. Even for us, it is difficult to breathe properly now. We have no use for plant life. We need no fuel for fires, nor do we eat anything. Our only requirement is blood, and as such, we failed to realize just how important the trees are. We've attempted for some time to pull trees from one of the other dimensions, but we only had a partial success until tonight, when it pulled not only trees, but you as well. You have my apologies. It was not our intent to transport people. Advertisement. Of course it's an ad. Yay! I really like that, Sean. Vampires! Vampires that aren't vampires. Vampires that can't produce, like, you know, you gotta be like rye or die, and you're a real life plasma vampire where you need plasma injection into your blood because your blood can't produce plasma on its own. At least not effectively enough to keep you alive. Living vampires, not undead monsters. Yeah. Their metabolism is based off of blood. Oh shit!
Oh.
You.
Smart man!
Why are you
Smart
smoking?
man, subscribe to the channel.
Oh
Less
shit,
than
thanks for the
greater than,
subscription,
greater
bro.
than greater than less than less than
Welcome,
less than
welcome.
greater than dancing Kirby.
How are you? Great to have you in here, smart man. I mean, your name says it all, right? So that's something, right? He's smart, right, guys? He's in the right place.